Welcome back, friends. On today's episode, we're going to explore how midlife hormonal shifts, especially declining estrogen, impact the female brain. We dive into why brain fog, mood swings, and memory issues are common in perimenopause, and what you can do to support cognitive clarity, emotional stability, and nervous system health. I'm going to share some root cause solutions and explain why midlife isn't a breakdown, it's a rewiring. So if you're ready to understand your brain, balance your hormones, and feel like yourself again, grab yourself a cup of tea and settle in. This episode is for you. Welcome to Cultivating Her, breaking taboos, balancing hormones, and redefining women's health. I'm your host, Christy Edgar, an integrative nutrition health coach and holistic lifestyle expert. Join me as we dive into the world of menstrual health, hormone balance, and the connection to women's wellness. Whether you're looking to decode your cycle, tackle PMS, or manage menopause, this show is your go-to to syncing your lifestyle with your hormonal rhythms. Through candid conversations, practical tips, and a few expert interviews, Cultivating Her empowers women to embrace their cycles and align their lifestyle to boost energy and thrive in every phase of life. Subscribe now and start flowing with confidence as we redefine what it means to be a woman with harmonious health. Hey friends, let's talk about something most of us are living, but very few of us are prepared for: the way our brains change in midlife. Because despite all the messaging out there about aging gracefully, green smoothies, and skin serums, no one really tells us what happens inside of our brains when estrogen starts to shift. And that silence, it leaves us questioning our worth, our energy, and even our sanity. So let's break that silence today. Estrogen is often reduced to a reproductive hormone, right? But here's the truth. Estrogen is a neurosteroid. It's a powerful chemical messenger that has everything to do with how the female brain thinks, feels, remembers, and functions. In fact, estrogen helps regulate verbal fluency, focus and working memory, stress response, mood balance, synapses plasticity, which is your brain's ability to adapt and grow, and even blood flow to your brain. So when estrogen begins to fluctuate in perimenopause, years before the period actually stops, your brain feels that. And it doesn't always feel subtle. Those words you can't remember, that brain fog mid-sentence, the rising anxiety or irritation, that sense that you're just not quite yourself. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're in a neuroendocrine transition. So midlife is a brain rewiring, not a breakdown. So let's reframe midlife because we've been sold a lie. Midlife isn't just about hot flashes and mood swings. It's a time of neural remodeling. So your brain is literally recalibrating to work without the steady stream of estrogen it's relied on since puberty. Think of it like a renovation. Messy? Yup. Uncomfortable? Absolutely. But ultimately, it's making space for something new. Midlife is where the brain begins to rewire for wisdom, clarity, and creative power if we support it. But without understanding what's happening, many women feel like they're falling apart. They're told it's just stress or depression or aging, but it's not. It's hormone brain biology, and understanding that changes everything. So what does your brain need in midlife? Well, this is where Cultivated Health really shines, because midlife brain health isn't about fixing yourself. It's about feeding the brain what it needs to thrive in this next chapter. Here's what your midlife brain is craving: nutritional support. Okay? We need lots of omega-3s for cognition and mood. We need cruciferous vegetables and leafy greens to support estrogen detox and inflammation. We need minerals like magnesium and zinc. And we need phytoestrogens like flax, tempeh, and sesame. Phytonutrients are plant-based compounds that have a structure similar to estrogen. But here's the key. They are not estrogen. They are gentle, plant-based mimics that can bind to estrogen receptors in the body, just like a key that almost fits in a lock. Phytoestrogens can help fill in the gap just enough. They offer mild balancing support to estrogen receptors in the brain, bones, and heart without overstimulating them. Think of them as nature's hormone whispers. They support without overwhelming. Next thing we need is nervous system regulation. So cortisol and estrogen are deeply linked. I've talked about this in previous podcasts. High stress equals more cortisol, equals more estrogen disruption, equals more brain fog and mood issues. So practices like breath work, walking in nature, praying, journaling, they're not just self-care, they're brain care. Sleep. Estrogen helps regulate melatonin and REM cycles. Sleep disruptions in perimenopause aren't random, they are hormonal. So sleep is when the brain clears waste, files memories, and resets emotionally. We need to make sure that we're making that a priority so that we can stay healthy. Now, movement. So exercise boosts BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's a molecule that literally helps you grow new brain cells. And resistance training, it helps regulate insulin, another key player in brain health, okay? It's also really important as we go through this transition that we're making sure that we are keeping our bones nice and strong and healthy, and we do that through resistance training and lifting heavy things. Okay, so what about the emotional and spiritual evolution of the midlife brain? Let's go a little deeper. The female brain in midlife isn't just changing biologically, it's changing energetically. We begin to crave more authenticity, less noise. We outgrow people-pleasing. We have less tolerance for surface-level living. And that's not a personality flaw. That's biology and soul wisdom. You are evolving. I like to say this quite frequently about perimenopause. Your give a damn breaks, quite literally, and you just don't care anymore. You're all about protecting your peace, and that's it. And yes, there is grieving in this season too. We grieve who we used to be, even as we step into who we're becoming. But this isn't the end of our sharpness, of our creativity, of our joy. It's just the beginning of a different kind of power. So if your brain feels different lately, foggy, slower, more reactive, it is not all in your head. It quite literally is your head. Changing, adapting, asking for new rhythms, asking for deeper support. You don't need to fear this transition. You need to understand it and honor it. Because when a woman starts supporting her brain in midlife, she becomes clearer, stronger, and more rooted than ever before. Inside of the Cultivated Health Signature Program, we don't just talk about balance. We decode your hormones, your brain, your rhythms, and give you real tools to feel more like you again. So if your brain feels different lately, foggy, slower, more reactive, no, it's not in your head. And if this conversation is resonating with you, then you need to go beyond tips and into transformation. This is your invitation. Inside the program, you will learn to decode your unique hormone patterns, support your midlife brain with food, rhythm, and rest, rewire your stress response and reclaim your energy, and create daily practices that actually work with your biology. It's where education meets embodiment. Because understanding your body really does change everything, and living in sync with it changes you. I can tell you from my own personal experience. And for me, it was more of a stress issue and a brain issue. And for some people, it's something else entirely. But really getting a strong understanding of your unique feminine body will give you a perspective that will help you to make decisions that support your best self.
Thank you for joining me on this journey to educate and empower. I hope you found value in what you heard and will come back to listen again. Together, we're going to create a community of women empowered to transform their health. If you're excited to be part of this, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with the other women in your life who need health support tailored to that X chromosome. Until next time, be kind, be well, cultivate your health.